Hi everyone, it's Rob Clark here from Elevate Performance. Today I'm going to talk to you about the topic of change, but in particular, personal change. Change is hard. There's a good reason why change professionals now exist and why external consultants are regularly brought in to do change work for corporate businesses. Overlaying a real life example to sort of help you understand how difficult change can be. If you look at the research around heart patients who've had heart attacks or coronary bypasses, despite that big shock, 90% of them revert to unhealthy behaviour within 1 year. It's a shocking statistic. So yes, change is hard, but you can smooth the change path. After all, change is not an event, it's a process. You can help people change, you can help them form new habits, you can help them reframe their mindset and change their behaviours. For any change to happen, and this is important, someone has to decide to think or start acting differently. But if people don't start behaving differently, change can't happen. And if you want to change people's behaviour, you've got to influence their heart, mind, and the climate they're in. Many times we try to change people by educating them. That's far from enough. Knowledge rarely changes behaviour. That's why we have depressed psychologists, obese doctors, and divorced marriage counsellors. Besides knowledge, we often thrust change into the arms of self-control. But self-control can be quickly exhausted. That is, when something called ego depletion kicks in. That's one of the reasons why change is so hard. People wear themselves out when they try to implement change. What in many circumstances looks like laziness can actually be exhaustion. So I'm going to talk to you a bit more about the personal change element, and the kind of critical first step is personal change starts with awareness. What makes change seem difficult is that we're trying to do it from the outside in. What I mean by that is to change our external behaviour without making any change to how we see the situation on the inside. When there's no internal basis for change, we need threats, reminders, someone to nag us to make sure we keep up with the new behaviour. When we truly connect with the change from the inside out, it becomes so much easier. The first stage of embarking on any significant change is to spend real time building awareness. Understanding why change at a profound level. Ensure you're connecting to your emotional brain as opposed to the logical brain, as emotion will always win through in the end. Look at how your current behaviour serves you. There'll be some payoff from what you're doing right now. It'll make you feel good in some way. Once you understand what that need is, think about how you'll meet it from now on. Think about the beliefs and biases you have that shape your mindset and drive the behaviour. For example, if you wanted to stop working so hard because of the resulting stress, but you have a deep-rooted belief that to be successful, you have to work long hours, you'll need to address this belief before change works. The second stage is choice. Once we have a deeper awareness of why we do what we do, and why we want to change, we need to make a conscious choice about the actual change we're going to make. For example, we may have started off wanting to spend more time engaging with our team, but as awareness grew, it became obvious the change required is a change in mindset to start valuing the opinion of people less senior. Once we're clear on what the change actually is and why it's truly important, we need to bench test it by creating an emotional vision of what good looks like and checking our commitment to it. It's so much better to go back to the awareness building stage now as opposed to proving to yourself again that change won't work. And finally, the last stage we call transform. This is where you make a conscious change. Most people make the big mistake of thinking that having made the decision to change, they can make a few steps in the right direction and all will miraculously fall into place. Now we know that's not the case. Imagine, you decided to become a professional hang gliding instructor, having never been in a hang glider before. What would you do? Among other things, you may read a book. You could find an instructor. Buy a hang glider even. Do lots of research. But personal behavioural change is no different. the most successful change happens when people consciously create the right environment for it to happen. They make it easy by getting help, buying the kit, making the time. They make it attractive by staying focused on the benefits, having fun with it and rewarding their success. They recruit help by advertising the change and getting people to give them feedback, which drives practice. They decide to practice their new behaviour intentionally and they review their progress. They don't throw the towel in when they get it wrong. They see it as a further learning opportunity and a way of building their personal awareness. Change is hard, but it is possible, and the rewards are well worth it. If you're struggling to make change stick in your organisation, have a look at our other content, follow us on social media, or give us a call. We're here to help.